Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
We're less than a month away from the NBA season, and the schedule's been set, and it's going to be a pretty exciting year, and I'm really excited for it. Some notable players are returning: Kevin Durant, who I think's best in the world, and Mr. John Wall, finally after 2 years. So for this episode, we're going to be discussing the top 10 teams heading into the season. And starting off at number 10, who do you have, Jacob?
Number 10, I got the Portland Trailblazers. They were showing some great signs in the playoffs. They were really doing well in the regular season as a whole. We got Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic finally coming back, Melo showing out once again why he is a great player. And I think they had a very successful offseason as a whole. They were able to get rid of a player I think that didn't really need to be on that team. I mean, he's great and all, but I think contract-wise it didn't really work. Trevor Ariza. Instead, they got a much better player, Robert Covington. They also got Enes Kanter, Derek Jones Jr., who I think are great pickups as well. But unfortunately, they had to get rid of Hassan Whiteside, who was the leader in blocks. He's one of the best blockers in the league and rebounders. Um, but I mean, the Trailblazers overall, they've been a great team. They've been great offensively and defensively. And the reason that I don't put them higher is because I feel like we haven't been able to see some of these players A play consistently, or B be able to elevate their game.
Well, I mean, I think we have. Well, we've obviously seen Damian Lillard go
Well, yeah.
off. We've seen CJ go off. Melo, he's obviously going to be good. And Yusuf Nurkic has also been good. And we saw how good Roko was in the playoffs, especially on defense. That's why I have them higher up on my list. I have the Celtics at 10. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart. They have a really good team. I think the Blazers are better. I think the Blazers would win in a best of 7 matchup. For also the fact that the Celtics have Daniel Theis. And for also, Gordon Hayward is ridiculously overpaid, but he's still a good player. They lost him too.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, which I'm going to get into also, I have the Celtics at 9. And they also got Tristan Thompson, which I feel like he's not overrated. He's not as underrated. He's kind of
Eh, yeah,
fine, but I still think he's a great center, which I think he will be better than Daniel Theis because he gets you those things that the Celtics need, which is
not gonna lie, I
rebounds.
kind of forgot that they picked up Thompson.
Yeah. I mean, they get you something, he gets you something that the Celtics needed, which was rebounds, right? He helps you on that big man end, which is something they needed and what they're going to get out of Tristan Thompson. I mean, the big setback for the Celtics is the Kemba Walker injury. I mean, hopefully when he comes back, he's healthy and everything. I mean, until then, I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle for the Celtics. That's why I think they're not higher. But as of now, with Kemba Walker healthy, I mean, I think they're going to be great. Obviously, going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to have a great run this year. I mean, I don't think they're going to pass you the Bucks, Nets, or the Heat, but any other team I think they can beat.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think yeah, any other team they'd probably beat. I think that they'd have trouble with the Wizards though. They'd win, but they'd have trouble with them.
I mean, no, right? Because I mean, obviously you got Russ and you got Bradley Beal. I mean, well, okay. Are we talking?
Isaac Bonga though.
Are we talking? Oh, Isaac Bonga. That's right. Are we talking about with Kemba or without?
With Kemba. I think that no one can guard Russ, and I don't think anyone on that. Well, I think
Not Marcus
Marcus
Smart.
Smart. Well, Marcus Smart does a good. Well, no, he wouldn't. He'd be guarding Bradley Beal, and Bradley Beal's still ridiculous on offense, even with a good person guarding him. Like they had Middleton on him. Like when Bradley Beal dropped 50, they had Middleton on him. They had Giannis on him for at points. They had Bledsoe on him. They're all good defenders, and Beal still dropped 55, which he proved that he could score at any pace, anytime, anywhere.
All right.
He's
Well,
probably one of the best scorers in the NBA.
my
He averaged
question to you
32.
is: if they play, who's going to guard Jason Tatum? Who's going to guard Jaylen Brown? You're not going to put Davis
Well,
Bertans and Jason Tatum. He's going to get
well, yeah.
absolutely destroyed.
Well, yeah, but Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook though.
Yeah,
They're
but those
they're
are
one
only
of
two
the,
players
I
to the
think
team.
that they're probably one of the best backcourts right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're one of the best backcourts, probably a top 5 backcourt. But I mean, as a team overall, the Celtics are much better and they'll dominate so much more. I mean, the Wizards, it's just 2 players, really. I mean, Davis Bertans is not bad, but still, like, they're not going to be able to do just Russ and Bradley Beal. I still think they'll have a chance at making the playoffs, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, they're definitely going to make the playoffs, especially on the weak Eastern Conference. Um, and
Yeah,
they got the ninth seed anyways.
yeah. I mean, I think
So
they definitely have a good chance. Who do you have at your number 8th position?
I have the Mavericks, and I don't understand like why you have the Nuggets at number 8. Spoiler alert, he has the Nuggets at number 8.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I'm
that
getting a lot of hate for that,
Nicole,
but yeah.
huh?
I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but yeah,
Yeah, Nikola Jokic is the best center in the NBA. He's
absolutely.
so good, but Luka Doncic is probably a pick for MVP. He's definitely he's one of the favorites probably.
I think
For the
he's
fact
probably
that
the
it's
favorite.
basically him and then there's Porzy. Um, he does so much he does so much on offense. And but also I was thinking about it. Defense is also a big factor. Like the Mavs are not a really good defensive team. I think they were what, number 1 in offensive rating, and they were pretty low in
Something like that.
defense. I'm not 100%, but with Luka Doncic there, they do so good.
I
It's
mean,
just
defensive rating, the Nuggets were only beat them by just about 1.
all right,
So
but on offense though too. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are really good. They got Gary Harris. The Nuggets are offensively really well equipped,
yeah,
and the Mavericks are too. But I still think that the Nuggets also proved themselves. They got to the conference finals, and they almost beat the Blazers that other year. Jokic elevates, Jamal Murray elevates. All in their team is really good in the playoffs.
yeah. I mean, okay. I'm gonna tell you why I got the Nuggets at 8 and why I put the Mavericks in front of them. One of the biggest reasons is I think the Nuggets lost in the offseason and the Mavericks won, right? The Nuggets lost 3 great players, right? They lost Torrey Craig, Jeremy Grant, and Mason Plumlee. 3 great players that were doing very well off the bench. Jeremy Grant, who was even doing well when he was playing, he is a hell of a player. I mean, they were able to get JaMychal Green from the Clippers, who is a solid player and he'll do well off the bench. But still, you're only getting 1 player out of the 3. The Mavericks, on the other hand, they were able to get a starter player, Josh Richardson, right? And they gave up a bench player, and they still have a very good bench. So, I mean, overall, I mean, obviously both teams I think are very well rounded. I think you're underestimating the Mavericks defense. I mean, yeah,
I think you're underestimating Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray.
I'm not underestimating it, but I'm just saying Jokic's defense sucks. It
Well,
does.
yeah, it's not that good, but
No, it sucks.
all
He's
right. Well, the
amazing on
Mavericks
offense.
aren't that much better.
I'm looking right now at the defensive and offensive ratings from last season, right? The Mavericks for their offensive rating was 115.9. The Nuggets were 112.6. And you were
Okay.
going on about how the defense for the Mavericks was not good and the
It
Nuggets,
isn't.
and you were saying it was the Nuggets were far superior.
I wasn't.
The
Well,
Mavericks defensive rating was 111.2. The Nuggets was 110.4. Not a huge difference. It's obviously the Nuggets are still better. They're still better defensively, but
still
still.
choose the Nuggets over the Mavericks for the fact that Nikola Jokic is so good. Luka
You
Doncic is
can't
good.
you can't base it off of one player. It's a team
You
game. Not
can.
one player.
He's
You
the
can't.
best center in the NBA. His impact is ridiculous. He
Obviously, his
averages
impact.
almost a triple double as a big man. Jamal Murray's also there. They have Gary Harris. They have Will Barton. They have Millsap. They have a great team.
I just want to say also, you're forgetting a huge, monumental key factor as to why the Mavericks are better.
Why?
2 words: Luka Doncic.
Yeah, you can't base it off of one player.
All right. Kristaps Porzingis,
All
Josh
right.
Richardson,
Chris,
Tim
before
Hardaway Jr., Willie Cauley-Stein. Max
Willie
Kleber.
Cauley-Stein, that's funny.
It's
Maxi Kleber is also very funny.
he's not bad. He's fine. You know,
That's funny.
we're gonna talk about Gary Harris for the Nuggets.
Gary Harris is a solid scorer.
All right, so is Willie Cauley-Stein's a well-rounded player. So is Maxi Kleber.
Oh, whatever.
You're forgetting also Boban.
That John Wick combat coming in clutch.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, if we're looking at how I think both teams will turn out, I still think the Mavericks will do better. Because if watching Luka Doncic go against the Clippers was insane. He was unbelievable. That comeback win was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I know I say it all the time, but it really is like a top 3 game for me that I've ever seen in my life, right? And you put into the factor with Porzingis, and now you got Josh Richardson. Oh my God. How could you go wrong with this team?
Stop! You're making me tired. You're gonna make me fall asleep to your
I'm right.
terrible bedtime stories.
All right, who you got? You got Nuggets 7?
No,
sorry.
I have the Warriors at 7.
You got Warriors.
I think the Nuggets are better. The Warriors also are better than the Mavs, and I had to convince you before the podcast.
Yep.
They have Steph Curry, they have James Wiseman, they have Draymond Green, Kelly Oubre, Eric Pascal, and Andrew Wiggins. And I know that you don't like Andrew Wiggins very much. He's pretty underrated. Like,
It's not that yeah, he's good, but I think he's a bit overrated in terms of the things he can do because he's not a great shooter. I mean, he's
ridiculously athletic though.
I mean, yeah, obviously
but he doesn't need to shoot. You got Steph Curry.
Okay, but if you're playing a shooting guard position, it's in the name, shooting guard. You have to be able to shoot.
He can shoot.
Yeah, not well. Obviously, he can shoot. Like Ben Simmons can shoot.
Yeah, he's not that bad.
He's not
I
great.
still have the.
I mean, no.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's a bad shooter. I just think he's better for the small forward position, which obviously they're not going to play him because they're going to have Kelly Oubre.
Or they could put Oubre at number 2.
He wouldn't fit there either. Oubre is also the 3.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the Warriors at 7. And you have who at 7?
I had the Mavericks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, for the Nuggets, it's not that I'm not convinced. It's a little bit of that, but also
what? You're not convinced? How are you not convinced? So you're convinced by Luka Doncic's 1-round playoff exit.
I'm convinced by the entire season. Jamal Murray was only this good in the playoffs, not the
okay. That's when it matters.
the Mavericks, the Luka Doncic was good regular season and playoffs. Porzingis was good regular season and playoffs. Jokic was good all around as well. But Jamal Murray wasn't bad regular season, but he was much better playoffs, obviously. But
it matters in the playoffs more, though.
But it's consistency, right? You want a player that can do well both in the regular season.
No, it doesn't matter about consistency. In the playoffs it does. In the regular season it doesn't.
I'm just saying.
Are you telling me Jamal Murray isn't consistent?
If the Mavericks play the Clippers, if the Mavericks play the Nuggets.
If the Mavericks play, wait, what?
If the Mavericks play the Nuggets ever in the playoffs,
the Nuggets are going to win that.
You sure about that?
All right, and you know what? Jamal Murray averaged 18 points, 5 assists in the regular season. Not only that.
And Luka averaged a 30-point triple-double.
Okay, Jamal Murray averaged 26.5 in the playoffs, 50%, 45 from 3. Not to mention 2 50-point games. In a 3-game span, he averaged 48 points.
Not to mention the Clippers almost lost. The Clippers would have lost if Porzingis was not injured. It's another thing. Obviously, the Nuggets beat the Clippers, but still.
What?
At that time, if you're telling me, okay, if the Nuggets because really the big factor is their depth, right? The Nuggets lost a lot of big players on that team. Okay? Players that were monumental to them. Jeremy Grant, one of the biggest players for them in the playoffs. Torrey Craig was doing great off the bench. Mason Plumlee, who's also doing great.
Torrey Craig is still on the Nuggets, you said.
No, he's gone. I thought he was, but I was mistaken.
Mistakes,
Oh, I mean,
mistakes,
I
mistakes.
still
Your
got
whole
Mavericks.
list is a mistake.
So you said you got Nuggets 6?
Yep. And you got the Warriors at 6, right?
I have the Warriors. You're talking about another MVP candidate, Mr.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. And yeah, Andrew Wiggins is still going to be great. I don't think he's not going to be bad, but I just don't think he's going to be all that because he'll probably be the fourth or fifth option, but still. Then you also got Kelly Oubre, Draymond, James Wiseman, who's probably going to go, he's probably going to be great.
Yeah, he will
And
be
then,
good.
yeah, you look at their bench. Eric Pascal, who is very, very, very underrated.
Yeah, really good.
Also, Marquise Chris, who's not a bad player. Damian Lee, Jordan Poole. I mean, they also have an amazing team, and you're led by one of the best coaches, Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he's really good.
Exactly. So you can't go wrong with this team at all. And I
Nope.
mean, obviously, if Clay was in this, the Warriors would be much higher. But
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Nope, will not.
Nope.
Because he's out for the season. Hopefully he gets a speedy recovery though.
Yep.
Number 5, we both have the same. I have the Miami Heat.
Yep. I got Heat also.
Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro. Coming off finals appearance, Jimmy Butler was absolutely ridiculous. That is the definition of elevation and grind.
Oh yeah, he's going to continue to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
He's obviously a top 10 player. If you don't have him as a top 10 player, what?
Come on, man.
Like, why? I
What's wrong with
mean,
him? First off, the playoffs is where it matters, and he elevated so much. He knocked off the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis.
oh my God. Everyone thought it was going to be the Bucks. We both thought it was going to be the Bucks. We
Yeah.
thought it was going to be, well, you thought it was going to be Bucks Clippers. I thought it was going to be Bucks Lakers.
Yeah.
And the Heat just whoop. I mean, I know
Right.
Giannis was injured, but still, even when he played.
Only one game though, and
Exactly.
1.5 games basically.
Yeah, but still.
I'll never forget when Giannis dropped almost 20 in the first quarter.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was ridiculous. And then he got injured.
Yeah, but then they won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by 3 points in overtime.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. But
Speaking of the Bucks, number 4 for me is them.
ooh, I don't know about that one.
I know who you have at number 4, and I'm going to tell you why the Clippers are
All right.
better.
Tell me
The
why.
Clippers are better because the Raptors beat the Bucks in 2018. Kawhi Leonard is a phenomenal defender for Giannis. Paul George is also a good defender. Oh, no. Patrick Beverley is a good defender for Drew Holiday.
Mhm.
And Paul George is a great defender for Chris Middleton. And Chris Middleton is not as good in the playoffs also. And that's all their offense. We saw what happened in 2018 with Kawhi. Kawhi also goes off. Okay, maybe he choked game 7. But Kawhi is still a ridiculous talent. His defense is the best in the league, in my opinion. He's ridiculous. And Giannis is great too, but he doesn't make the Bucks better than the Clippers.
Okay. If we were keeping the Clippers like this, like let's say the Clippers ownership and front office decided we're not going to make any more moves for the rest of the season. We're going to keep the team as it is. I have them equal. I genuinely just have them as equal teams. But because of everything we've been hearing, and
You
just
can't assume.
I'm not assuming. Literally everything. Everyone is saying that that nobody is safe on this team. Obviously, we can't assume, but I don't want to trust it to put them ahead of the Bucks because let's say they get
So you're not putting them ahead of the Bucks for the fact that no players are safe?
no. Well, that and also you can't.
We're talking about how they are now.
Okay, as how they are now. I mean, even still, look at who they lost. They lost the 6th man of the year. And he went down to the other side. I mean, obviously they got Serge Ibaka, but they also lost.
Serge Ibaka's a better version of Montrezl Harrell. Are you kidding me? He's way better.
What?
Are you going to tell me that Serge
Say that
Ibaka
again.
is worse than Montrezl Harrell?
Say that again.
Serge Ibaka is better than Montrezl Harrell. You're crazy. You are crazy.
You are absolutely insane. All right, my one question for you. Who won the 6th man of the year?
Montrezl Harrell.
Okay. That's all I have to say. That's all I had to say.
Serge Ibaka's a starter.
Nope, it was Marc Gasol that started.
No, Marc Gasol was injured for most of the year.
Oh no, it was Marc Gasol. that
Yeah.
started.
All right. Let's take a look at the stats then. Let's take a look. Mr. Serge Ibaka. You're also forgetting that Serge Ibaka is a ridiculous defender and a blocker. Serge Ibaka, he started every single game when Marc Gasol wasn't there. Okay, maybe Serge Ibaka, maybe he was a sixth man, but okay, all right. All right. I thought he was a starter. That's my mistake.
Okay, he was playing more both, but I think he was more six man.
He played basically half his games as a six man, half his games as a starter.
Yeah.
All right, and this is also
six man.
in 23 minutes, Serge Ibaka averaged 10 shots, 57 from the field, 51 from three, 8 rebounds, a block and a half, and 15 points.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's a terrible player. He's obviously a beast.
And he's better than Montrezl Harrell.
No. No. I'm sorry. But this Bucks team, think about it like this. They also only got better. The Clippers got I mean, they got slightly worse. I'm not saying that Montrezl Harrell is.
I think they got better because they got Serge Ibaka.
I think that them losing Montrezl Harrell. I think listen. I think that them losing Montrezl Harrell, they got slightly worse, not hugely worse, but you look at the Bucks. They
also have a stretch five now.
Jrue Holiday. Okay, the Bucks have Brook Lopez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Brook Lopez is better than Serge Ibaka?
No, but he still plays that similar style.
Okay.
Exactly.
But that makes the Clippers better.
From one player, you also have the MVP.
You're literally exchanging
We're not
players.
even to talk about
the three.
Hold on. You're not even going to acknowledge. You're not even going to acknowledge how bad they were in the playoffs. Not even just Kawhi in Game 7. Not even just Paul George. The team was bad.
Okay, Serge Ibaka is going to change that clearly.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I guarantee the fact that the Clippers are better with Serge Ibaka than Montrezl Harrell. I don't understand how you think that Montrezl Harrell is better. Are we talking
about record, or are we talking about are you saying
as a team? They function better with a stretch five. Every team does. The Clippers didn't have a shooting five.
Okay, but if I'd rather have Montrezl Harrell on my team.
Also, given
the fact that Serge Ibaka is getting older. Montrezl Harrell is still young.
Serge Ibaka,
33, 34.
Montrezl Harrell.
He's what?
He's 31.
Okay, never mind. But still, Montrezl Harrell is 27.
Whatever. You're giving me a headache. He's also 26.
Also, we got my boy Jrue Holiday joining that Bucks team.
Okay.
That's nice.
I still pick the Clippers for the fact that Kawhi will be a good defender for Giannis.
I mean, no. Still, I still even just watching that playoffs. That was for the Clippers. That was just sad.
Okay.
It was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
You had so many people, even including you, saying that how they were going to be winning the whole thing, or even potentially getting into the finals. They couldn't get past the second round.
They would have beaten the Lakers. They would have.
How? They couldn't get past the second round.
They would have beaten the Lakers because they were built to beat the Lakers.
They couldn't beat the Nuggets.
They were built to beat the Lakers. Get this through your thick skull.
Right. Listen to me. So, the Clippers lost to the Nuggets.
Yeah.
The Nuggets lost to the Lakers.
Okay, but first off, in the regular season, they went 2-2. Kawhi locked up LeBron. The Clippers aren't built to beat. They didn't have a big man. They're not going to beat Nikola Jokic, who's the best center in the NBA. But Kawhi, who was Kawhi guarding? Like Michael Porter Jr.? That's not a big impact. If they go up against the Lakers and he guards LeBron.
What about offense? He was still huge on offense.
Who?
Kawhi.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And also, Paul George, man. You're going to tell me that Paul George is going to be amazing this year?
He's going to be good.
Good. Be fine.
If you're on Spotify or anything,
What?
my head is down.
Okay.
I am
Alright.
praying
You're
that you guys
praying.
can please save this man. Please.
All right. Let's go to our 2 and 1. I'm pretty sure we have
This
the
is
same ones.
really close for me. This is so close.
It is not so close for me at all. Like not even. It's like a huge like.
You're biased.
Woo! No, it's not even that.
You're
Think
biased.
about it like this. You got the team, the NBA champions, right? It's not even just LeBron. It's not even just him. You have the NBA champions. They got the 2 best players off the bench. They got the stretch 5 that
You mean 2 best players?
Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder's starting.
Well, now he's going to start, but at the time he was number 2 in 6 Man of the Year voting.
Okay.
So
Okay. That means he's a good bench player.
okay, and he was an amazing offensive player as well. Even starting, when he would start the games he would start, he'd still do great. The games when he would play on the Hawks, he was great.
Okay.
Exactly.
Are you going to convince me that the Lakers are that much better because of Dennis Schroeder?
Not because of Dennis Schroeder, because they are A, they were the championship team, and B, they only got better.
Okay, they could. Okay, no.
They got better. They got better. They got better.
Team.
Listen,
Okay.
they got better in the
All right.
positions they needed.
The Knicks
and
went
they
to the
got-
finals in
they're
2000
bench.
with Latrell Sprewell as their best player. Are you going to tell me that they're the second best team in the NBA?
Say the question again.
All right, the Heat. They were in the NBA Finals.
Mhm.
If they had won the championship, are you telling me that they're the best team in the NBA?
No,
Exactly. You cannot make it that point that they're the championship team.
I'm just saying that's a factor into it. A, that's one factor.
No, it's not.
Okay, no. If the Heat got better players, if they somehow, I mean, even though they already have great players all around, if they somehow were able to get better players, then yeah, I would potentially put them at top. But the reason I'm putting the Lakers at the top is not even because of the fact that they were the champions. It's the biggest fact is that they got better in every position. They got Wesley Matthews, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, and Marc Gasol.
Marcus
He got
Gasol's
everybody.
35.
They have no bad positions.
He's 35.
And he's still great.
No, he's not. First off, he's injury prone. Second off, he's been bad this season. Bad.
You're telling me he's been bad?
He was bad.
He's
First
still
off, in the
great
playoffs,
player.
he was bad. He shot terrible.
He was fine.
He was
He's not-
bad in the playoffs.
Obviously, he's not
He
as
was
elite.
bad.
Obviously, he's not as elite as how he
Marc
was for the
Gasol.
Grizzlies or
In the
20
playoffs,
Listen.
he averaged 6 points on 40% shooting, 20 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2
Okay.
assists.
Take out even Marc Gasol.
That's terrible.
Take out Marc Gasol.
And he averaged
Hold
8
on.
points.
Hold on. Take out Marc Gasol. I don't care. You still got Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, and Wesley Matthews on top of the monsters.
But you're telling me that that's enough to put them on top? No, okay, maybe
Yes.
they have a good bench.
Yes. Their bench, they have one of the best benches in the league. They probably have the best bench in the league right now.
The Clippers had the best bench in the league last year, and that didn't hold you back from putting the Lakers at the top.
Okay, but because they had so many problems. They really
No, not until the playoffs.
Yes. For the playoffs?
No.
If they didn't have any problems in the playoffs, they would have won the whole thing. They couldn't get past the second round.
Okay, yeah. But
Mhm.
you're telling me that they're far superior than the Nets?
Yes.
No, that is such a lie. You are crazy. You are like, get this in your head.
I'm crazy.
If you're going up against a team, all right, who in the world can guard Kevin Durant? Nobody. No one can guard Kevin Durant.
James.
Absolutely not.
Who can guard Anthony Davis?
Kevin Durant. I'm taking Kevin Durant over Anthony Davis. It's ridiculous that you think like
No, I agree with that. But if you're telling me, okay, you think that Kevin Durant's going to stop LeBron?
yes, he's gonna do a good job.
He'll do a good job. So will LeBron against KD. But who's going to stop?
No, you can. No one does a good job against KD. Nobody.
No one does.
Do you remember when KD dropped 50 points
Listen to me.
on the Clippers?
The only player
In 3 quarters, he would have dropped
only-
60
the
that
only-
game.
Listen, the only player that I think that can guard LeBron is Kawhi.
Yeah. And KD
That's-
does a good job at guarding LeBron.
Good, but not enough.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's
Take
going
out
to guard
LeBron.
Kyrie Irving?
Take
Who's going to guard Kyrie?
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder is a
Wesley
terrible
Matthews.
defender. Are you
Wesley
kidding me?
Matthews.
He's terrible.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not.
Dennis Schroeder. Dennis.
No, not
Dennis
Dennis. I
Schroeder.
said Wesley Matthews as well. They'll probably
Wesley
both
Matthews is
shoot up.
not that good of a defender.
He's a
First off,
great-
Dennis Schroeder averages less than a steal and 0.2 blocks. Let's take a look at his defensive rating. His defensive rating is 112. That is not good at all.
Okay, who's gonna guard AD?
His defensive box plus minus is -1.
Who's
It's
gonna
negative.
guard AD? Answer the question.
What?
Who's gonna guard AD?
Okay. Who's going to guard Kyrie? LeBron can't stop KD.
No.
No.
Think of
But
okay.
you're telling me that the Lakers are so much superior, which is not.
If LeBron plays the one, he'll probably guard Kyrie.
No,
that
he's
means
not
that
going to play the
AD
one. No, and he won't be guarding Kyrie because he'll be guarding KD.
No, probably AD will probably guard KD.
No, who's going to guard their big man then?
Whoever's playing the floor.
Did you ever see
Like,
AD guarding Jimmy Butler unless they got switched on?
What?
Did you ever see AD guarding Jimmy Butler from half court?
Okay, but
No.
he's still their best defensive player. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but he's not going to be guarding Kevin Durant.
Did you see Bam Adebayo trying to guard AD? He couldn't. AD was a beast. Did you
Okay.
see Jimmy Butler?
Are
Anybody?
you telling me
guarding
that you
Did
can't
see-
you
did
can't
see-
base it off one
did you
player?
I'm not. Did you see Jimmy Butler or
Did you-
anybody guarding LeBron? They couldn't. That's
Jimmy Butler was guarding LeBron. Yeah.
Okay, and how did that happen? And what happened?
Oh, look at what happened when LeBron James was guarding Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler dropped. First off, Jimmy Butler averaged 10 assists. He averaged 25 points in the finals. He had a bad game because he was ridiculously exhausted. He was so good. He dropped 40 and 35. I just don't understand how you think that the Lakers are so much superior.
I think
They are literally on the same
I'm
level
not
as the
even
Nets.
taking it. I'm not even taking it just as their just as from LeBron and AD. I'm taking it as a team. Overall.
Okay. The Nets have
From-
Joe Harris.
from-
They have Spencer Dinwiddie.
Okay.
They have a great solid bench.
All right. I mean, well, when it's all said and done, you still have Lakers 1. I have Lakers 1. We both got
Yeah,
the same for the 1. and 2.
Barely.
Okay, we have a difference of opinions. I'll see
Barely.
if the Lakers win the chip. That's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what your top 10 is, and also how much better do you think the Lakers are than the Nets?
It's a lot. Tune into
No.
the next episode on Monday. See you guys next time.